Hey everybody, welcome to the dev blog number 2. My name's Andrew McTeer. So this is going to be a little different. I'm going to try doing it as a live stream. I spent a lot of time making that last dev blog, a lot of time editing, a lot of time being mad at my voice and how everything sounded and redoing everything. So that's no good. I'm just a solo developer, so I have to spend as much time actually developing and not on other things. So here is Stadia. Stadia's launched, or yeah, I think it's launched. And when I made the last dev blog, it was really early. You know, a lot of things weren't known. But quickly after I made that dev blog, I really started getting a sense that they were going to launch it with all like kind of AAA titles, and it wasn't going to be like a self-serve kind of service like I was hoping. I was really hoping that they were going to have some kind of like dev access, and they were just going to let us make a bunch of crazy stuff, and then that was going to be the Stadia experience. It's just all the wild and crazy games people could make with that technology. And obviously I was 100% wrong. That might still happen, but it's not an immediate opportunity like I hoped it would be. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. Again, the potential is amazing, especially for this game. Like the things I could let someone with a older, mediocre device do as compared to the limitations on rendering on mobile. That if it's all being done on your device, and obviously mass networking and stuff like that. So it's not over, but had a bunch of things lined up. So if the opportunity was there, I was going to be able to jump on it with all my resources. But the next thing is the Epic online services. Epic has been making this online services where they were going to give one of the missing parts of my online experience. Well, it seemed like they were going to give it for free, which it would be huge for me because the online services was a monthly cost on this game, and because it doesn't make that much, it was making the game essentially I don't know, cash flow negative. Is that the fancy business term? So yeah, anyways, the Epic Online Services, they had a roadmap, and there was all these plans and a schedule, but basically they came out with a blog post saying that they were going to delay everything, and then they actually took the roadmap offline. So this is kind of one of the reasons why I've held multiplayer, why it's not online. I'm kind of waiting to see what my options were, and it's kind of not panned out. So I've been focusing on other aspects of the game in the meantime. So coming up in the next release, there's been 2 big performance updates. And what in the video it showed me was I had not put any effort into performance balancing when it comes to audio. So here is when your guy gets hurt. I'm going to play it. So how this code works, before it was a lot simpler. I mean, this isn't that complex, but so when I play, it goes through a randomizer. There's 2 sounds here. So there's this sound. Can I play this? And then there's this sound. So there's the 2 different noises, so it'll alternate between those. But then what it'll do is it'll pass it through a modulator. So depending on which one of these 2 sounds, it'll never sound the same. And then it would go right to the output. But the problem with that is that on older phones, or if you dial back your performance, it would just do everything every time. And then I had a whole bunch of sounds, like some of the weapons I had, like, I don't know, 8 to 10 sounds for it. So the amount of memory that your phone would need to load to play all these different sounds, it was incredibly wasteful. And another thing I'll talk about later, essentially everything all had to load at once. So this was the black screen of death that everyone was getting. So how this works now, I have this quality level. So if you're running low, it skips this, it skips this, it skips this, and it just plays this. So it'll load less audio into memory, but then also it won't run this modulator. So it uses less memory, uses less CPU. So that's one aspect of this. Oh yeah, there's a really good YouTube video. It was I think it was the people who made the Arc for mobile. It was a lot of their lessons learned So they were very thank you for sharing this. And then the other thing they shared was there's a setting where I can say, don't hold any of this audio in memory. Just stream it right from the hard drive on your phone. And what that means is that, like, I had a lot of sounds just loaded into memory. Like on a PC, it doesn't matter, but on your phone, you know, your memory is worth its weight in gold. So so basically with this code, it uses a lot less, just, you know, even if you're running on PC, but then on mobile, it uses even less because it doesn't retain everything. So I'm interested to see how that works for people. So you see in the top right, the mini map, that was causing a performance issue. And how I think some of you might have noticed it was when you die. And typically when you die, it's because there was a lot of zombies around you. And just based on the math of it positioning all the little dots, when you'd have a whole bunch around you, it would exponentially slow down the rendering of the mini map. And so now I have it set so not only will it never do that again, let me go blast these Z's. So I have a whole bunch around me, and it's not like the little dots are around me, and it's not slowing me down. So if I let them kill me, it's going to take a while because I'm fully armored up. It's not going to slow the game down. Like I can go. So normally before you'd be sitting here. Oh right, I disabled that. Anyways, but they'd all be standing around you, and then it'd be really laggy, and I just couldn't figure it out. But then I accidentally discovered it through other means. So that's nice. And the other cool thing is if you're on a lower performance, oh Jesus Christ, that scared me. If you're on a lower performance device and you set your rendering quality even lower, it'll refresh that mini map. Jesus. Okay, yes, the mini map's no longer an issue. It's a non-factor, and which is good. So this and a whole bunch of other things are up next. I'm really excited about the performance for the next release. Another thing I want to talk about is soft loading, and what that means is the way it worked before. I had a massive database of objects, so I had all the guns, you know, I had every car, everything, just everything. And the second you wanted to load any of it, so if you pick up this gun, it essentially had to load absolutely everything in the memory before. And again, on a PC, this doesn't really mean much because it's all tiny and it's, you know, really low res. Not a problem. But then on a mobile device, you know, in conjunction with the other thing that was wasting memory, it would take a lot longer to load, and then it would have to retain it all. Whereas now, like if I go into my inventory, well, that loaded pretty quick. But you can usually see, and I might try to make it have a nice little loading screen, but see how things kind of delay almost? You can see it. So now it only loads things into your game's memory as it needs it. And then because it doesn't have a strong reference to it, if it needs more memory, it can let things go. Whereas before it needed everything at all times. And that was causing trouble. And it was really limiting. Before, like when I'd be looking at this tab, the armor was in memory, the crafting was in memory, the creative was in memory. It was all loaded at once. Whereas now, same thing. Like it loads it when it needs it, and it lets it go if it doesn't need it. So big performance improvement, and it makes development easier as well because it's when I compile, it doesn't need to recompile everything if I make a certain change. So it was just a really good improvement. Okay, let me go back to my note. So I want to talk about the voxel system. I put this in a couple of builds earlier, but I actually ended up having to take it out in this little video here that I'll play. This is a third-party plugin that I'm using, which is really cool, but the problem is it has a few issues with it working on mobile. So I've had to pull it out, but it's essentially allows me to have dynamic terrain. And this is going to be a big part of creative. I want people to, you know, dig up the terrain and, you know, use it in part of their their bases, and you know, there's a lot of gameplay elements I want to put in here. The problem though is, yeah, like I said, there's a bit of an issue with integration. So the developer's doing a really good job pushing out builds, but I've decided I'm just gonna put this off, and I focused on the creative and the crafting system. So the first thing I did was the sidebar. It's now kind of consistent when you're in the crafting system, the inventory system, or the creative. It's everything is now like I use this menu first. So if you go crafting, you see the groups first, and then you can go in and you can pick your item. Creative, you start at the highest level of the tree, you know, and you can pick what you want. Whereas before, I kind of just picked a random, not random, I picked the first list, and it just presented you like all the weapons, and then you could decide to go into the group. So it's a different kind of flow of the menu. So, and then I have the common sidebar, and then you always use the back button on the left. I like it. I feel like it's a better kind of workflow. So in the creative screen, before you used to be this awful menu on the bottom, and it was like you had all these sliders, but now it's like you pick what you want. I want this gun here, I want this. And then if I'm gonna just give you something, it's like, well, this can have different levels and durability. So now you can just go and use the slider. Because if you want to test guns, well, I want a level 1 gun, or I want a level 31 gun, you know, or I want a level 165 gun. So how crafting has been changed is if you click craft and you're not at a bench, right now it's showing a little more than I want it to, but I'm going to have it show, like there's stuff you can build without a bench, but it's going to be really, I want to say basic stuff, you know, like you can make a bench without a bench. You can make a few weapons. You can't make a gun because, you know, I mean, let's be realistic. In real life, if I gave you a big stack of metal and, you know, and I told you how to make a gun, you still couldn't do it. Like you need tools, right? So you can't build stuff without your bench. So if you go into an item, I might not even let you see these without actually having a bench. But so say you go to foundation. This is the new crafting screen. This is all still in development. I need to clean up a few more things. But now on the left, there's your requirements. So there's your resources. You know, you need some wood, you need some parts. We have 0. You need skills, so you need to have skill in structures, and we don't have it. But now there's the bench tab. So it's like you need the bench, but then what I've created are tools, and I'm still kind of recreating all the recipes. But depending on the tool, or depending on the thing you're crafting, you know, I'm not doing this as like a game logic, like a game balance or progression kind of thing. I'm actually, you know, I have 15 tools right now, and I might even up that. But it's like, well, you'll probably need a screwdriver, you'll probably need a hammer, clamps, a drill, a saw. Specific tools that will need to create this. So you need to satisfy all these before you can actually craft it. And then I'm also going to make it so you can make multiples easy. This area here will tell you what the end result's going to be. But if you want to have these tools, you're going to need to go to the bench. And I had the bench before, and I didn't really like how I implemented it, and so I've essentially rewritten it. But now it's not supposed to be showing that right now. Bugs, bugs, bugs. So you go up to your bench, it's going to switch to a top-down view, and it's going to say how many tools are installed in this bench, and then the max durability. So when I say max durability, that means if you craft something, it's going to be like the durability of the thing that you've crafted. So anything that you make in a bench is going to need tools, and the average level of all of your tools is what you're going to, the durability of what you're going to make is. Okay, put it right there. So this has 0 tools installed, and the max durability is nothing. So, but when you go into the crafting, we go into this bench, you'll see that we have the bench, but now we're missing tools. So let me go out. I have these, so these, like I said, these icons automatically give you stuff, and these ones here, they give me all the tools. Not all of them because I don't have a backpack. So let me just, right. Oh, and that's another thing I did. If you pick up something and it's armor and you don't have anything in that slot, it automatically equips it. That's something I've wanted for a long time. Okay, so let me go back to here, go over the tools. It's going to give me all the tools now, because now I have more slots because I have a backpack on. And I'm going to go all the way over here, go up to my bench, craft. Oh, right now, tools. And then I'm going to just start installing all the tools that I just got. So I put 3 in there, I should say 3. I forget what that bug was. So the max durability is 100%, but say if I go into creative, there's a new category of tools, bench upgrades, and the box cutter, I'll give it to myself as level 82. Go to this bench again, and the box cutter. So I have a level 255 and a level, whatever that is. Now my max durability is 83. So I want it so your bench is an investment, whereas we had a bench in the game earlier, and the bench, it wasn't really, in the end I think I just put a bench in the home base and everyone just used that, but now it's like I want people to go and find these upgrades and make their benches something, you know, you can produce better stuff than anyone else if you have all the right tools. And then I want to have it so if you destroy someone's bench or if you break into their base, you can steal their tools. So having a bench with high level tools would be kind of an end game activity. It's something to strive for. So the other question is, well, where do these tools come from? And they're going to be in the raid and house maps. So you'll play those modes to risk to get these better tools, and it's like an investment. So you can throw it all into your bench. So still need a bit more work on this, but I'm getting to be pretty happy with how this is working. I want to clean this sidebar up a bit more. Yeah, so here's a gun. If I wanna craft it, obviously I don't have my tool requirements for this. So you need the skills, and then you're gonna need your resources. Oh, right. So then a new common thing I'm having is the info card is now the button to view something. So if I click it, there's the info card here. If you click it, that takes you into the info window, which existed before, and I'd like to clean this up and make it look a little bit better. But if you click it again, it takes you to the 3D viewer of this object. I don't know why that's black, that's a bug. So if I go creative, structures, oh, this doesn't have the info card view. Awesome. Well, let me just give myself one. Yeah. So if I go here again, you can preview your items, and then you can click it again, click OK, and then you're back out. So I feel it's a lot less buttons, because I used to have like an actual button to view, whereas now I feel it's pretty streamlined. Yeah, so let's talk about Max. You missed everything. So let me hit this, which deletes all my install stuff, and I guess for the building system, you might notice I've gotten rid of, there used to be 2 modes where one would be where you're looking, and then the other one was where was kind of nudging. I got rid of that because it's I didn't have a good way of doing it on PC and mobile. So now it's just what you look at is where you build it, and then if you roll your mouse wheel on PC, you can rotate it, and then on PC you can touch the, I don't know if it's going to show my mouse, but next to my my hotbar, there's a green button here. So you can rotate it. Now, the reason why I made the nudge mode was for people to be able to build bases, and because there's no snapping. And so the other reason we got rid of it is because we actually have snapping now. So let me trash what's in my inventory and then on screen. So you can use this map in creative mode, by the way. So right now I have these 3 squares where it's the building materials and the 3 different ones. So if I stand over the wood, it gives me all the wood building stuff. Now what I say by snapping is when you click down a foundational item, I got flying fixing too, by the way. Double jump and you can fly. Now you can see it snaps to the right location. Yeah. Build up a little foundation here. Yeah, I'll do it like that. Let's do it. Alright. This, that. And then we have the wall. So then it's contextual snapping. So the walls will snap in the right spots. Alright. Alright. Do that. This still needs a little bit of work. There's some alignment issues that are giving me some grief, but it's getting there. So anyways, let me just whip up a little base here. Big thanks to our contractor, graphic designer, who helped me do this. In my last dev blog, I showed the starting of this. I bought a third-party asset pack that offered a player building system, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll use this, but oh yeah, that's a flaw right now. You can't only build ceilings one off a wall, so I'll have to work on that. So, but anyways, I didn't like how it was being done. In the end, though, as I finished this, almost I could see the reason they did it that way, but I'm still not sure if I'd want to redevelop it the way they built it. But so now, yeah, you can build a base, and you can close your windows. I don't have it so you can jump out the windows yet. What I don't have is being able to lock these doors and setting your user access rights. That's something I want to do, but because I don't have online right now, I'm not sure I want to invest that effort in something that no one's going to be able to use. So obviously when I get multiplayer going, I'll bring that back. There's a few other structures you can build. So I got the stairs. I don't think pillars are working at the moment. Like I said, this isn't fully done yet. Right now, I want to do ramp. And then, yeah, these can't stack, I don't think. Yeah, I want them to be able to stack, so you can, right now you could just do this. Yeah, I kind of messed up because there's no way I can put something that goes up there. So anyways, there's wood. And then there's stone. If I, oh my god. I'm just doing awesome. So same thing, it'll just give you all the same parts. This is so I could rapidly develop and test. I made those auto pickups because I have to redo it. So anyways, same thing. Oh no, this is metal. My bad. And then this one's stone. And obviously the hit points are different depending on what you do. So let me, that's a good way to demonstrate this, which I'll show you in a minute. Terrible. Right. And then let me, yeah, I don't want to touch one of these. Yeah, the red one there, that cancels out all my buildings. Which I don't want to do yet. Because I know another way I can cancel these out. Yellow ramp. Oh, the yellow ramp. I think I might have taken that out. Alright. Alright, I killed all the zombies. Hopefully this is a high level one. 6. So one thing I added is the zombie AI now. It needs a little bit more work, but now they'll actually try to break into your house. But I obviously need to make this work a bit better. Oh crap, it's a little more better when there's a lot of zombies because they all kind of take turns. And then now they kind of try to jump at you. If there's like something in the way, they'll try to jump over it. Like I said, obviously it needs a lot more. Let me, all right. What I'm gonna do is cancel that. And then I'm gonna play it again. Just to reset the zombies. But another thing that I did is I rewrote the persistent system. And that's retaining all of the stuff that's built. And I mean, stuff was persistent before, but it was kind of bad. And then I had all these like custom scenarios where like that window, I opened it in my last session. And it was really hard for me to track new kinds of states. So I have this really kind of cool system now that lets me custom define, like if something needs to save more information than the average thing, like these benches that I just made, because they save the parts that are installed in them, so I can like override the routine of persisting data, and then I can have it add the extra information that it needs. So this is going to really pay off down the road when I add some of the features that I want to do. So now I have all my structures that I did in my last session. Now what I'm going to do is get all these zombies to come after me. I think my audio might be a little messed up from that optimization I'm trying. This might not work because, yeah, I want them to break stuff down. I don't think, yeah, I kind of have a little bit of a bug. They don't do it unless they're not moving whatsoever. So. Right now they might do it. Come on. Yeah, see. And this is why this is a dev blog and I haven't released this yet, so. Come on, you buggers. Tear my base down. And that's the other thing, they'll jump. They'll try to get you. Alright, let me just go in here. Yeah, I don't think I've optimized it for... Yeah, if they move subtly, they still think they have a chance of getting in, so they won't attack. Oh, yeah, see? So, I want it so they can tear your base down. Alright. Alright. Yeah, so that's the building system. So good progress there. Let me go back to my notes. That might be all I want to talk about. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just recap. Oh, yeah, my menu works again. I will recap the changes. Oh, yeah, I have a new loading screen. I don't know if I've shown you that. The skull kind of zooms in. And then let me go back to the main menu. So I released this already. Oh, let me turn that down. That's loud. I'm pretty sure I turned that down. Oh my god. Okay. So now the main menu is a little bit different. Let me delete this character here. So the character creation screen is now a wizard, which means it's multiple steps. So create my character. Step 1, do you want a male? Do you want a female? And then I have a nice little random name generator. I added a bunch more names, and you can obviously put in your Lexus Rocks. You can put in your own name, obviously. And then right now my character customizer is only skin and hair color. But actually that is one thing I'll talk about after this, what I want to do next. And then you can pick your mode. So if you're playing on the free version, the only person you can create is a hardcore character, which means you can't respawn, no creative. You get a really good XP and brain bonus. Oh my god, it's just so annoying that. So I gotta change that yelling in the background. You can be a survival player, which essentially you don't get as good XP and brains, but you can respawn, and then creative player, and then that's you can got the creative mode and all that. But free players can only do hardcore. Jeez. So hardcore means if you die, you can't respawn. And this is going to be true for single player and multiplayer. So you start off in your bunker. There's things you need to upgrade. Computer. There's some stuff laying around. Oops. There's an axe. There's a pistol here. And then, so if you go to the dude for missions, was that your brain code? Oops. So then there's two things you can do. You can go to the sewers to do the raid, or you can go to the house. But then if you go here, you can go survive, and this is going to be the survival map. And that's going to be single player. If you want to play multiplayer, you're going to go here, but it's disabled for the moment. So what I'll do is I'll go to the house, which is a horde mode, and breakpoint. So if you die, that's it. Like this character's done. So you don't want to die. So it's all risk. So you want to get this loot, you gotta be good. There was a bug where you were picking up invalid items. One of our members in the community helped me figure that out. Oh crap. Not good. Oh boy. It's the airsoft gun. Out of ammo. This is it, boys. This is it, boys. Okay, sweet. So yeah, you have to risk it if you wanna get this stuff. Oh no, the bug's not fixed. Oh my god, did that happen to my... Okay, alright, I thought I got it, but I didn't. Alright, let's get out of here. Alright. Actually, no, I want to show what happens when you die. Let's get them with the fists, boys. I'm not afraid of zombies. I eat zombies for breakfast. Let's do this. Yeah. Yeah. Ah. So when you die, you can't respond. So if you get mean, it sends you back to the base, to your bunker. But you died. So yeah, your guy's dead. So you got to go into characters and you got to delete them because you can't play them anymore. So I kind of love this change, but I think what I'm going to put in is some kind of redeeming system. So if you invest a lot in this character, you can pull the brains out of them, or I don't know, maybe there'll be some way to revive them or turn them into a zombie or something like that. But I saw something when I was in here I wanted to talk about. Sorry, I'm not really well planned for this. But I did want to put out an update. I want to let everyone know what's going on. So um, there's been some progress. There's obviously a lot more issues. Um, there's a lot more work to be done. I have a plan for taking this to a higher level and working on it full time, but I just can't do that right now with a few things going on. But that's my background. Where I want to take this game, I've been really thinking about this. So let me do some doodling here. But I mean, obviously, I want to bring it back to where it was, and there's a lot of issues that need to be fixed, and a lot of the promises I've made I want to accomplish. But I feel that I've been on the path to create a game that's kind of like Ark or Rust. And one of the big things about them is their kill on site kind of games, and I love that. I love that, but I feel that it's like it gets exhausting. You know, like I think when Rust first came out, I had to quit it because like I just care so much about my base, and I was playing solo, and you know, it just gets to a point where like you kind of have to wipe the servers because it just gets so end game, and people get so powerful that I didn't really know what you could do to it to make it like a more kind of livable game almost. But then let me just pull it up here. Oh yeah, I remember what I want to talk about. Let me make a note so I don't forget again because I'm terrible. Okay, so I had a job, geez, it's 2 years ago now. I can't believe how time's been flying. 2 years ago with a game called Identity. They're a big kind of life RPG kind of game. And I learned a lot from that because I played their mod and I really liked the gameplay. So we'll just call that like a life RP kind of game. And it's like, I don't know what the term is, but it's not kill on site. And I watch people play the Arma mod. I really like Sin. I haven't watched him in a while, but I used to watch him a lot. And I really love the gameplay there. And but at the same time, that seems to get kind of old. Like people keep raiding the Federal Reserve, and you know it itself kind of doesn't go long like how in the Ark and Rust. And where I'd like to take this game, and obviously, you know, I used to not talk about vague ideas of the future because I want to deliver everything I promise. But when I was at Identity, like I really started to love that gameplay style, and then just watching people play it. Like people had a lot of fun doing that. Like I watched the GTA RP, like Timac, and I love Eli, Sheriff Eli. But so what I want the survival to become is kind of both, and how I want this to go. And this is going to be a lot of work, and you know I might not even get close to this, but if things go right, and you know I get a lot of support of the game, and you know I get some good developers to help me because I do need help to really take this to where I want it to go. What I'd like it to be is, you know, if I'm going to use any kind of game as an example, is Project Zomboid. Kind of like zombie survival, but there's going to be kind of two ways the world can exist. And it can be kind of like apocalypse end of the world, or it can be, you know, structured society. And how I want the world to exist is will be like a static city with like the kind of open world that goes in all directions, and players can decide which world it's going to be. So if I create the Federal Reserve, obviously it'll have to exist, or a bank. I'm going to call it the central bank. it would exist here in the kind of RP mode, or I'd call this like, civilization mode. And, when you're in this mode, there would be kind of a law almost. And you can, like the law needs to be enforced by players. Like there's a lot of dynamics and systems I'd have to build. But you'd have to try to keep it like an life RP. And then, if people try to live, like kill on sight these people, you'd arrest them. You wouldn't just kill them because, that's chaos, right? So you'd have to maintain order. But through player and gang actions, if everyone just keeps hammering away on the system, I don't know why I'm doing that, but they rob the bank so many times or blow it up or whatever, then the game mode will slowly, as things fall apart, go into this like Mad Max kind of mode. But then, players can work together and rebuild the society, and then it could just go back and forth forever, and that's a survivor. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like depending on who's playing and depending on what the server's kind of like mindset is, you kind of determine what the server's going to be, and there's going to be good guys and bad guys, and there's going to be the factions, and like a game I really like is where it kind of makes me think about this. Let me go. Hold on, I don't want to show stuff on my browser. I'm only going to see all my links. I think it's called Space Station 13. This is a really kind of wacky game, but it kind of is like it's like this, but in one direction, where you start off in society working as it should, and then there's players that can pull it into chaos, and you all have your different goals, but if we create like a job system where some people can be cops and some people are doctors and some people are crooks, it's like I want it so people's goal is to change the shift of what the kind of world is. And then when I say Project Zomboid, it's obviously a zombie survival game, right? And maybe people pull apart society into chaos, just mangling this drawing through, robbing the Federal Reserve, or maybe there's like a zombie contagion that the scientists, people who have that job, can create, or drug dealers can create and sell, and then the zombie outbreak happens, and then we're in chaos. But then maybe the players can do what they need to do to stop the zombies from spawning, and then we can go back to this. And the grand idea obviously is very difficult to implement, but I already have a bank right now, and we could just create a little mini game or some kind of progress bar where people taking certain actions can disable the bank, so you can't use the bank anymore. So this is something I want to explore, like gameplay wise. I feel like the longer I work on this game and the more other games that I see, the picture of this game is forming. Like my my initial design of this game was I just saw the Cinti Studios Simple Characters. I literally saw this. Yeah, the simple line is like way back. They've got their advanced polygon stuff right now, but I literally just saw this pack. And I was just like, you know what? I want to make a game out of that. Like, I don't know really what game it's going to be, but I just want to light these assets up and turn it into something. So now the longer I play it or work on it, the more I kind of see the more I see what game I want it to be. And I've built up this foundation where I think that's possible. And just seeing where these games kind of die off in people's kind of excitement. And I've just I've been watching everyone play it. Like a Nexus, you always tried to kind of create like a little world where this is, you don't do this, and like you made your base and stuff like that. So that's essentially what you're trying to do. You're trying to create kind of law in this chaotic world. And Max, it's good you're here too. You're like the agent of chaos, and but maybe like you guys would change roles and like playing on a server long enough. Like everyone wants to build their own base but also have a community, and then how how life on the server is will really be up to you guys. So if I build those building blocks, I think that would be like a really like long-term kind of community game, because people could spend all that time and energy building it up. So I mean that's way out there. I mean, you guys are seeing how long this is taking me to put stuff together. So that's just a dream. So I want to talk about where I want graphics to go. I'm using, like, I love Cinti's assets, but they came out with this polygon line, and it's just fantastic. And like the cars are really high def. I'm not sure if I can use those on mobile yet, but what I really like right now, and this is one of the reasons why I got rid of the old maps, is these buildings. Maybe not these ones in this kit, but in I want to go on their actual, no, I don't want to go on the Unity page, actual website. There we go. Their kits, they're, yeah, there we go. Their kits have buildings which have interiors built into them. And I was trying to build up my own interiors from their last kit. Like I was calling out the buildings, and it was just a lot of work. And it, it didn't even really look that good. Whereas if I upgrade the buildings to this, like this farm kit, like these barns have interiors with like nice interiors. So I can just use this right away. So it's not that much of a poly boost for that. But what I really want to do is build up the characters and use these guys. I know it'll be harder for older phones, but this is why I was excited about Stadia, is that I could easily upgrade to this if everyone was playing this game on Stadia. But even if I don't, I think everyone's upgrading their phones as time goes on. Like I think I can really do this. So next year I want to go to the Cinti models. This is going to be a big endeavor. I didn't spell that right. So I mentioned that I worked on Identity. That's not the one I want to watch. I worked on two major things when I was there. Identity game. One of them was I was behind. I mean, obviously I was on a team with a lot of people, but I was the gameplay person. I mean, like, I didn't do all of this, but I stitched a lot of this together. The other thing that I did is the character creator. And again, I didn't do the modeling. I didn't do the UI, but I stitched it together. Wait, what? So I showed you before in the menu how I have it. So you can only change the skin color, but I really want to build up, I mean, I'm not going to copy this, but same kind of things. I mean, pick any game you want, but I want it so people can really build more custom characters, but I want it to be these Cinti assets. The problem with these assets, you buy them and they're all kind of like pre-made. Like this guy's like this, so I'm probably going to have to hire a designer or a modeler who'll have to create like a base man and a base female, and then cut out all the clothing and then kind of do the tech art. So you can just pick your, maybe this guy will have like a, police coat on and then these pants. So I really want to use these models, but create like a, in-depth character customizer. So that's next year. Well, actually, next year is a month away, but when all the stuff I'm working on now is done, I really wanted to get into that. And what really kind of sealed it was, and I'm going to buy this pack on the Black Friday sale this Friday. The Apocalypse kit came out. 200 bones. This is just fantastic. This is essentially the high definition version of the Apocalypse kit that I've been using for years now. Let me skip ahead here. Oh, the volume's really down. Sorry. So like I get all these buildings, which we can use right away, but look at all these models that we could just, you know, all these clothing items that I can get. So yeah, it's just so awesome. Look at those vehicles, man. So I want to upgrade to that, and you know, it's gonna be a lot of work. You know, it's it's a lot. Like, I don't know if I can pull it off. I'm gonna need some help. Like I said, I've got a bit of a budget. I've been kind of waiting for an opportunity to go hard on this. I don't want to say too much about it, but I can't quite do it right now. But an opportunity might open up where I can hire a dev to help me with this game, and I'll do what I do in the data to make my living. But if I could find someone that's a good generalist, but also can specialize in the character creation stuff, like I might, you know, maybe I'll just hire like a modeler and rigger to set up the character creator. But it'd be really good if someone can get in and help me work on the game. But yeah, I really want to go here, and then obviously if some of my deals I'm trying to line up work out, I can go full time and maybe even hire a few people. Because let me go back to my awesome drawing here. I really, you know, I really want to see this exist, and you know, I just kind of want to see it exist. You know, maybe people won't like it, but it's like this is the game I want to make. Like it's elements of a lot of my favorite games, and I think people would have a lot of fun in it. So those are my long-term goals. What's coming up in the short term is I'm going to clean up everything I just showed you and cut a release, like maybe this weekend. And then I'm going to keep on with the rest of the 2.8 release. I have to go through my roadmap and see what I haven't done. But then when 2.8 is done, I'm going to ship 2.80 on Android and Steam. Steam hasn't gotten an update in I think over a year. It's kind of nuts. But yeah, so that's what's next. Next is to put it on Switch. I'd love to get it on Switch, but you know, it's just a lot of work. You know, if I had a team of 3-4 people, you know, and you know, a big chunk of cash in the bank, I could probably definitely get it on Switch, but can't do that right now. So, you know, this is my best path forward, and I got a good feeling. You know, this year took a little longer to get where I wanted, but I've got a really good feeling about next year. There's a lot of stuff I can't talk about right now, but something good's coming, and yeah, let me know what you think. Definitely a lot of rambling. If you made it through it, wow, this has been an hour. But yeah, that's where we're at, and I hope you like this dev blog. Let me know if you like this format, or if you want me to spend a week and edit up something a little more concise. But yeah, thanks everyone in the chat for hanging out. Hope you liked it, and I will talk to you all very soon. Thank you.